Hi, I'm Roz, and I just signed up for my first marathon. I'll be running the Barcelona Marathon on the 10th of March next year. So, quite excited about that, quite scared about that as well. I was going to write a running, like a training for marathon blog, but honestly, I know myself, I'm probably going to be a bit lazy to be writing a blog entry every week. So I thought I would do it in a series of videos instead. And hopefully that makes it maybe a little bit easier for you to kind of watch and keep up with as well. So why did I decide to run a marathon now? A few weeks back, I spent the evening watching some films that were a part of the London Surf Film Festival, and amazing films that we got to see. One of the things that really struck me was there was one film, I cannot remember the name of it now, but it was interviewing lots of people who are surfers or, are doing stuff that is involved with the ocean. And one of the things that struck me was how passionate these people all were about surfing or the marine biology or whatever it was that they were talking about. And I don't know. I think we have our passions in life, and I think it can be a little bit difficult sometimes in terms of society has us. Gets us into thinking that we ought to be doing certain things because it's what everyone else is doing, blah, 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 especially with social media and stuff. And I think sometimes this can lead us to lose sight of what we are actually passionate about. So I have been passionate about running for a really long time, like since I was in my early or mid-20s was when I first started long distance running. And then over the years, stuff kind of got in the way. For a long time I didn't run just because my Bikram yoga teacher told me to stop running, and so I didn't run for a long time. And then I started back up again a few years ago. But then recently, life has just been getting in the way of running. And, it's not, I can't just blame it on life. Really, I've let life get in the way of something that I'm passionate about. And I've also kind of got very caught up in doing all the stuff that I think I ought to be doing, I say that in inverted commas, and ending up with no time for the thing that I'm actually really, really passionate about. And having watched these films at the London Surf Film Festival, it just really made me like have a moment of just thinking. And a marathon has been on the radar for a little bit. Really, like this year I said that I would run one because I turned 40, and then I used the excuse in my brain that it was actually 42 kilometers, not 40, so you should probably wait a couple of years. It's such a load of rubbish, isn't it? And so the other day I was just like, do you know something? I'm just gonna find a marathon. I'm gonna sign up for one. And so Barcelona it is next year. Why Barcelona? So I lived in Barcelona for 6 years, and Barcelona was where I first started running. And so I have a lot of love for Barcelona as a city. It was my home for a very long time. And in terms of running, it's where I ran like my first half marathon. It's where I first ever raced, and did all my training. And something, it's a really beautiful city to run around. I mean, where else can you do run of like a marathon length and get to run past like Gaudi architecture, run by the ocean, see the mountains in the background, see really, really beautiful architecture on the way. The other reason that I chose Barcelona, other than for the aesthetics of the route, haven't actually checked the route yet, so I hope I'm like right on the aesthetics of the route. The other reason I chose Barcelona was because a lot of the marathons in the UK, or the very big European marathons, have a massive number of people running them. And I'm not really a massive fan of running really huge races. I just find it's like too many people to the point where I actually don't really. I like to run a race that's busy with people, but for me, very, very busy races, they're just kind of too much. I ran the Great North Run a few years back, and it was really fun to do, but for me, I think there was like over 50,000 people ran it. It's like the largest half marathon in Europe. And for me, it was just like too many people that I felt like it wasn't really very comfortable to run. You also have to wait like forever to actually even be able to start the race because of the sheer number of people who are, getting to start before you, unless you're like an elite athlete. But honestly, for sure, I think Mo Farah was probably back at home and having a cup of tea by the time I even got to start that race. So another reason I picked Barcelona is because I think it's going to be a smaller race in terms of the number of people that are running it. And because of that, it's an easier race to sign up for. So things like the London Marathon, the races, you have like ballots for them. So you go in the ballot, you get a place, or you don't. Obviously for something like the London Marathon, so many people want to run it that there's not so many ballot places available. I mean, there's only so many. And then otherwise you are running, you can get a charity place, but then you're running for a charity. And so you normally have to raise quite a large amount of money. And that's fine. But sorry, my little battery thing just came up there. But I really wanted to be able to run for a charity that is a charity of my choice, not one that I'm selecting from the charities that have charity places available. So that was another reason for running the Barcelona Marathon, is because I was able to just pay my sign-up fee. So I paid that, I've got my place, and then I get to decide who I actually run for. And I'm going to do another video to talk about that, because I've got quite a bit to say about that and I don't want this video to be too long. So in terms of how many weeks we have until the race, quite a while. I'm going to work with an 18-week training plan. By my calculations, I hope they were correct. I need to start that on the 4th of November, which is actually next Sunday. So not so much really to update you on so far in terms of training. I'll be honest with you, I have been just making the most of the fact that I can choose to run or choose to not run at the moment, which is not really going to be the case once the training plan starts. So I've just been trying to take it easy, just doing some, short and mid-length runs. I've been running like 5-6k, and then last night I did 12.5k. But that was literally just for the passion of it. It was actually torrential rain here yesterday. It was really, really cold as well. And I went out for a 5k run and I just was having such a great time that I ran 12.5k, as you do. This is why I'm crazy enough to train for a marathon, because I think running 12.5k at 9 o'clock at night on a Saturday evening when it's chucking it down with rain is a fun thing to do. If that's not passion, then I don't really know what is. So yeah, not so much to update in terms of the training. That will come as of next week, next Sunday. And I'll do a little video to talk about my fundraising when I've set up my Just Giving campaign and got a bit more information together on the specific project that I'm going to raise for, because I haven't actually quite decided that one yet. Other news to tell you, I needed to buy a new pair of trainers, so I thought I'd kind of rather than go through the whole gait analysis thing, because I always end up buying exactly the same pair of trainers like every year, same brand and basically the same style, but just like the next level up of it, the new innovated version of that style for this year. So this year I thought I'd just cut corners and buy my trainers online. So I ordered them from Asics. They came. They have basically changed the size of the toe box on the Kayanos, so they're much wider than they were before, much bigger, and the shoes were too big. So I've had to send those back, which is a little bit annoying. And now I'm thinking that I am just going to go to a running shop and go through the whole gait analysis thing, because maybe actually I'm going to change brand of trainers. I don't know. We'll see. So I need to do that soon, because I want to really be training in the trainers that I'm going to run the race in. So that'll be happening soon as well. So update number 1 on why I'm running a marathon. And it's funny actually, just this morning I was reading something on Instagram by, I think it's a guy who's called Coach Bennett, and he posted this post about, you know, people who train for like sports, you know, it's like, why do they do it? You know, why train and stuff? And he said it's literally, it's just for the love of it. Like, it comes down to literally, you've got to be that passionate about it that you will make yourself train. That's you know, that's the thing that carries you through. And I don't know, if someone, like, since I've started doing yoga, I have realised that obviously you need to train for races, you need to do the strength and conditioning work, and you need to stretch and all, you know, look after your body and your diet and all of that stuff. But your mind game is literally as important as the rest of it. And so, yeah, with the marathon, my aim is this. I see it as this. It's just a case of putting one foot in front of the other for, admittedly, rather a long time. But my goal is to put one foot in front of the other for hopefully slightly less than 4.5 hours, and to do it in a way that is struggle free. And the latter is the bit where the mind games are going to kick in. So we'll see how that one works. But yeah, I think the yoga and meditation is going to be really useful for that side of it. So that's my update so far. I shall keep you posted, and keep your eye out for the video explaining about who I'm doing my fundraising for. And then if you want to donate, I will include the link below as well. Cool. Okay, thanks. Bye.